Hey everyone, and welcome to The Explainer. So grab your mental notebooks and pull up a chair, because today we're jumping straight into a true physics masterclass. We're going to take a deep dive into the invisible mechanics of the world all around us. I'm honestly so excited to guide you through this, because once you understand this hidden framework, how energy actually moves, you are literally never going to look at the universe the same way again. Let's get into it.
Here's our quick roadmap for today. First, what is a wave? Then, the anatomy of waves, the math behind the magic, real-world wave applications, and finally, common student misconceptions. Okay, to kick things off, I want you to think about something you do, well, every single day. Have you ever wondered how your voice actually reaches another person across a room? Or, for that matter, how sunlight travels millions of miles through the vacuum of space just to warm your face? I mean, it feels like magic, right? But it's not. It's pure physics. It all comes down to wave motion. Section 1. What is a wave? The invisible mechanics of our universe. Let's build up our foundational understanding here. Look at this precise definition. Wave motion is the propagation of a disturbance that transfers energy without the bulk transfer of matter. Now that is an absolutely crucial distinction. The energy itself is making a journey, but the physical matter, the actual stuff, stays mostly right where it is. Think of spectators in a crowded stadium doing the classic wave, Each person just stands up, throws their hands up, and sits back down. They aren't running laps around the stadium, but the wave itself, that visual disturbance, travels all the way around the crowd. The people are like the particles of the medium, oscillating up and down, while the moving wave, well, that represents the actual transfer of energy. So we can actually break this propagation down into 4 really simple steps. Step 1. A source creates a disturbance. Just picture dropping a stone into a perfectly calm pond. Step 2. That disturbance causes nearby particles to start vibrating. Step 3. Those vibrating particles bump into their neighbors, passing the energy along. And step 4, the disturbance continues moving outward, just like ripples on the water, while the water droplets themselves are basically just bobbing up and down. Section 2. The anatomy of waves. Breaking down the structures. Think of this kind of like classifying different species in biology, except, we're doing it for physics. First up, we have this massive fundamental divide based on where waves can actually travel. On one side, we have mechanical waves. These absolutely require a physical medium. We're talking air, water, a solid rope, you name it. Sound is a mechanical wave, so no air means no sound. But on the flip side, we have electromagnetic waves. These are the rule breakers. They're made of changing electric and magnetic fields, which means they don't need a medium at all. They can zip right through the empty vacuum of space. And that is exactly why the sun's light can reach Earth. Now, we also classify waves by how they vibrate. Just picture this in your mind's eye. Transverse waves feature particles that vibrate perpendicular to the direction the wave is actually traveling. It's an up and down motion, creating those classic crests and troughs. Think of light waves or wiggling a jump rope. Longitudinal waves, on the other hand, vibrate parallel to the wave's direction. It's more of a push and pull motion. This creates compressions where particles crowd tightly together and rarefactions where they spread apart. Sound waves traveling through the air, a perfect example of this push and pull. Section 3. The math behind the magic, quantifying the unseen. Okay, take a deep breath here. The math isn't scary, I promise. It's literally just a tool we use to perfectly describe the physical magic we've been talking about. Here's your quick cheat sheet. These are the measurable properties every single wave possesses. Amplitude is the maximum displacement. Basically, it tells us how strong a wave is. Bigger amplitude equals a louder sound or a brighter light. Wavelength is exactly what it sounds like, the physical length of one complete wave cycle, measured in meters. Frequency is how many oscillations happen every single second, measured in hertz. Hear a high-pitched squeak, you're hearing a high frequency. And finally, wave speed, just how fast the energy is actually traveling. And look how perfectly this builds into our central equation, the wave speed formula, V equals F times lambda. Or, in plain English, wave speed equals frequency multiplied by wavelength. It's such a beautiful, straightforward relationship. If you know how often a wave oscillates, and you know how long each of those oscillations is, you know exactly how fast it's moving through its medium. Speaking of speed, we have to talk about this staggering number, 3 times 10 to the 8th power meters per second. That's about 300 million meters per second, which is the speed of light in a vacuum. It is literally the fastest known speed in the universe. To put that into perspective for a second, sound travels through the air at roughly 340 meters per second. This massive, mind-boggling difference is exactly why during a thunderstorm, you'll always see the flash of lightning way before you hear the rumble of thunder. Section 4. Real-world wave applications. Physics in everyday life. Let's step away from the whiteboard for a sec. Why does all of this math and theory actually matter? Well, from the exact moment you wake up, you're manipulating waves. Checking your phone or connecting to Wi-Fi, that relies entirely on electromagnetic waves. Going to the doctor for a sonogram? Medical ultrasounds use high-frequency mechanical sound waves to safely look at internal organs. Getting LASIK eye surgery? That's precision laser light waves at work. Listening to your favorite song? Those are just longitudinal sound waves bringing joy right to your ears. It is literally everywhere. And we don't just use waves in our living rooms or hospitals. We use them on a massive planetary scale. When an earthquake happens, it generates seismic waves. Scientists use instruments called seismographs to detect these vibrations. And because different types of seismic waves, specifically P waves and S waves, travel at different speeds and through different materials, scientists can use them to essentially look inside the Earth and pinpoint exactly where an earthquake originated. It's like an ultrasound for the planet. The list of applications goes on and on. Oceanographers study wave motion to forecast severe storms. Air traffic controllers use radar, which bounces radio waves off objects to keep planes navigating safely. And perhaps most incredibly, the very internet you're using to watch this explainer relies heavily on light waves shooting through undersea fiber optic cables at absolutely astonishing speeds. Section 5. Common Student Misconceptions. The Exam Review. All right, as your makeshift physics teacher today, I'm going to let you in on a few insider tips and point out the traps that so many students fall into on exam day. Misconception number 1. Waves carry matter from one place to another. Please remember the reality here. Most waves transfer energy, not matter. If a cork is floating on a pond and a ripple passes by, the cork just bobs up and down. It doesn't ride the wave to the shore. Just like the crowd in our stadium wave, the matter stays put. It's the energy that travels. Okay, here's the second trap, assuming all waves require a medium. The reality? While mechanical waves, like sound, absolutely need a medium, electromagnetic waves do not. Light, radio waves, X-rays, they can all travel perfectly well through the empty vacuum of space. Think about it. If they couldn't, the Earth would be completely dark. Misconception 3 is a really tricky one. A lot of people think that a higher frequency always means a faster wave. The reality is that wave speed depends primarily on the medium it's traveling through, not its frequency. If you change the frequency of a wave in a specific medium, the wave-length usually just changes to compensate, which keeps the actual speed totally steady. And finally, the ultimate physics myth. Sound travels faster than light. We touched on this a bit earlier, but let me put the final nail in the coffin. The reality is that light is nearly 900,000 times faster than sound in the air. The speed of electromagnetic waves is simply unmatched in our universe. No contest. All right, class dismissed. But before you go, I want to leave you with this provocative thought. From the Wi-Fi filling the room you're sitting in, to the light arriving from distant stars, we are constantly swimming in an ocean of invisible, vibrating energy. So how much more of our unseen universe is just waves waiting to be understood? Think about that the next time you hear a great song or feel the warmth of the sun on your face. Thank you so much for joining me for this explainer, and keep your curiosity vibrating at a high frequency.